rely on just class time. You have to spend a little bit of time outside class. All right, so how does this one start? All right, we're starting with our properties again. All right, what is number 1A? What property is that? Distributive. That is distributive. How about 1B?
Commutative. Commutative.
Let's take a vote. How many think it's commutative? How many think it's associative? You are the winners. It is associative.
I'm a loser.
What does commute mean? Move. Does anything move? Oh wait, B is commutative.
Yeah.
Commutative is commutative. Because what switched? The 5. Absolutely, the 5 switched. So that is commutative. B, 1B is commutative of addition. You are the winners. Commutatives. All right, what about C?
Additive inverse.
Not inverse. Identity. It's the additive identity. When you add 0, you get the identical thing. Right? All right, number 2. Solve. All right, what do you think? What? Quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. So x equals. Uh-oh, I'm gonna need some help here. I don't know what 27 squared is. 729 minus 4 times A times C. So this catches us even when we have a calculator sometimes. I got 729. And I'm gonna get this number, whatever it is here. Is this gonna, am I gonna be adding this number or subtracting it? Adding it because of the double negative. That's 112. Okay, so 729 and 112 makes 841. Just for fun, is 841 a square root? Let's go ahead and square root 841.
Oh, you my calculator.
Yeah, calculator.
Calc 29.
It is 29. Well, that is great news. What would I have to do if it weren't a number like 29? Break it down. But luckily, it's a perfect square, no breaking it down. It's 29.
So if it's like 27 plus or minus the square root of 841, you have to break down 841 to like,
Absolutely. 841 is a perfect square. It's 29.
Alright.
You have to do that.
These days I'm just gonna give you the things right now.
I think, I haven't got everything all quite figured out yet, but I think you'll have your calculator to go back. But I'm not promising that. That's the way I'm reading right now. All right, so now this is 2 answers. 27 plus 29. And remember, by the way, the only calculator you're allowed to use is your grapher. Right? Gotta have a grapher. All right, so 27 plus 29. I got 7. And this one's going to be negative 1/4. So my answers are x equals 7 and x equals negative 1/4. Now, the quadratic formula will work on every squared equation. This problem also factors, but it's kind of a hard factoring. So you probably are smart in doing the quadratic formula, but it does factor. All right, how about B? Solve.
If you have a
But, guys, wait a second. What does the test look like?
Same thing.
This, the directions are the same. So if I haven't said on the practice test, solve this way, then I'm not gonna say it on the test. It's just like this. Alright, how do I solve this one? Made a number line, and right in the middle of the number line, I'm gonna put a 2, and I'm gonna count each way 3. So 2 plus 3, 2 minus 3. Those will be closed dots, and less than means shade in the middle. So my answer is -1 to 5. Max Bird has studied and knows what he's doing, so he just boom, boom, boom. There you go. You gotta practice. Be like Max. All right, how about C?
Common denominator.
Get a common denominator.
24.
Now, we've talked about this before, that the actual number you use doesn't matter, but I think in this problem, it's obvious, 24.
Yep.
So we'll multiply this one by 3, this one by 8. And you are so sick and tired of hearing me say it, but I'm gonna say it again. This one also has to have the common
24.
denominator. So we have multiply by 24. So all of the denominators are 24. That's the key. Now I'll distribute those numerators. Be very careful here. What's this gonna be? Minus 16x minus 8. Then I'll collect like terms. I'll add 5. And I got -53/7. What about you?
I thought it'd be 48 over 24. Would it not be?
You thought what would be 48 over 24?
The top one?
Yeah, but remember, once all the denominators are the same, I get rid of them.
Okay.
All right, here we go. See what we got coming up here. All right, some more solves. Look at it. First of all, do your beady little eyes notice the inequality? The less than or greater than? What does that tell me?
We got a factor.
Well, I'm gonna factor it, but I'm also gonna have a number line, right? And how does this one factor? Plus 2 minus 5? What if I don't know how to factor? That would be very sad, because that's an easy factoring problem. But if, yeah, you can use the quadratic formula to figure out where to put the dots. And the dots will be at -2 and 5. And this time they are open. And because the problem is a greater than,
It's
I will
outside.
shade out. Did some tricep dips this morning. Feeling it. So -infinity to -2. And 5 cubes. that one?
Square.
Yeah, square root of two.
I square, and square both sides. So when I square that, I'm just gonna have x plus 5. When I square this one, I
36.
have 36. So it looks like my answer is 31.
31.
Remember, we only do number lines, we only have intervals when we have symbols like that. All right, now we have the big problem. Don't we group them together, somebody said. I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. So let's group them. What is the point of grouping them? To take out a common factor?
Yeah.
So what can I take out of these?
X squared.
X squared,
Yeah.
and I'll be left with x minus 2? What can I take out here? Watch it. Negative 9. If, you know you're gonna take out a 9, if that's a minus, go ahead and pull out the negative 9, okay? If that's a plus, you'll just take out 9. But we're gonna take out the negative, and what will that leave us with? X minus 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 2. Why is it a minus?
Because then, two
Because we
negatives make a
took a
positive.
negative out.
Yeah.
So there's your common factor. And then what?
X minus. You got a factor.
How does that factor?
X minus 3.
Minus 3 plus 3? And I list my answers. Boom, boom, boom. X equals 2, 3, negative 3. No number line, nothing to write, no, just boom, boom, there they are.
Miss Ford?
Yep.
Wait, why isn't it a negative 2?
Because it's in the bracket.
Okay. When you solve that, you set it equal to 0. And what happens when you solve that?
You add to them. You don't do it.
It's always the opposite when you take it out of the parentheses.
Okay.
It's just like that absolute value problem. If we had this on my number line, I would mark it at 3. It's always the opposite. Always, always, always. All right, what are you gonna do with number 4A?
Subtract.
Okay, so this is not a multiply problem, this is a collect by terms problem. So 4 plus 6i. Okay, you two decide who's coming up here, one of who's coming up. You guys decide. I don't care, somebody's talking back there. And I got Simone and Isaiah, and they wanna learn. And they can't when there's all that chatter. Kind of slouch down so people can see what I'm doing. 4 plus 6i minus 4 minus 7i.
I got 0 minus 5.
So the 4's are gone. And there's only 1i left. So you can say 1i. You can say just negative I is okay, whatever, or something like that. Easy. What about B? I'm gonna use the conjugate, very good, great vocabulary. And that means I'm gonna be multiplying by what? 2 minus 3i? Yep, very good. And so I now am going to FOIL all over.
Yes.
So just go, first outside, inside, last. multiply two negatives, you get a positive. When you get your answer, let me know. I want to hear some answers. Stop.
I got 10 minus 28 over 13.
That's what's saying. You got the same thing?
Yeah.
Awesome. Here's where the negative 28 came from. What is I squared? So this is actually going to be negative 6. That's where the 10 came from. Those cancel. This is actually plus 9. That's where the 13 came from. That's right. Quick comment here. If this had turned out to be this, it didn't. But if this had turned out to be that, do not cancel. I know 2 goes into both of those, but remember, in an expression like this, you have to cancel in all 3 spots. Right? So you just leave that. Don't get carried away with the canceling. All right, what's next? Now we have our exponent product. Okay, this one's a real,
It's not about that problem. Can I write I just like a capital I at the start?
that's iffy. I is kind of a universal letter, so it has to be a lowercase I. And I always make it cursive, like a cursive I. It could just be like this, but I get confused with words and stuff. But yeah, it has to be one of those. Sorry. If it were just a standard variable, it wouldn't matter, but you gotta be for it. Alright, this guy is full of negatives. So I'm gonna do nothing except move the negatives. So this one came down, this one went up, and this one came down. So I'm not done with the problem, but I personally couldn't deal with all those negatives. So now I can start simplifying. 8 and 28 are both divisible by 4. So I'll reduce that, 2 over 7. Now look at your x's. 10 of them on top, 5 of them on the bottom. You're gonna start canceling. And you're gonna be left with x to the 5th on the top. And these guys will cancel, they get combined like the 11th on the bottom. Yep.
I'm kind of confused on how we decide which one's at the top and bottom.
Okay, so who has more?
The top. So which third has more?
Yeah,
Top, okay.
because stop and think. This is 10 x's. Okay? Divided by 5 x's.
It's just,
So when I start canceling them out, eventually I run out of cancellations, and what am I left with? 5 on the top.
thank you.
All right, number 6. If you miss number 6, it will be a dead giveaway that you didn't prepare. Because there's no math. You cannot make a mistake. If you are having this problem, there's no arithmetic. Don't need a calculator, don't need anything. What's it gonna look like? Parentheses,
X plus 4
plus 4 squared,
plus
plus
y plus 3 squared
y plus 3 squared
equals 6.
equals 6. Where did that 6 come from? It's the radius squared, it's r squared. For number 7, add the instructions, right answer and slope intercept. Alright, so we're gonna use slope intercept for problem 7. Why do you think I'm having to do slope intercept? Because that's what's on the
Yes.
kids, I keep trying to tell you, you know what's having this practice. Alright, here we go, how do we do A? Step 1,
Y minus 2, or no, y minus 3 equals 2 x minus or plus 2.
first I have to find the slope. So the slope will be 4 minus negative 2 over 6 minus 3. So the slope is 2. Then, Ryan, I'll pick a point, and it looks like you were using the first one. Doesn't matter. He's using that one. So Ryan and everybody, be super careful. This is X and this is Y. And X's go with X's and Y's go with Y's, always, no exceptions. So Y plus 2 equals 2, that's my M, X minus 3. Y minus that equals M, X minus that, right? Now, since I said slope intercept, I'm going to go ahead and distribute here and subtract 2 from both sides. And that will be our answer.
But I thought it was just write the equation of the line. Wasn't it? The question?
And then I added.
Oh, you just,
slope intercept.
will that be on the test?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to do one more. A line. This time, we have to be perpendicular to this and contain this. All right, so what do I do here? Get the y by itself. So we're gonna move things around. And I'm gonna do that carefully, because if I lose a negative, that matters. So I gotta keep track of everything. So subtract 3x over, and then divide by negative 9. Remember, y has to be totally by itself. So negative 3 over negative 9, that looks like a 1/3. Don't really care about that number. This is the one that matters, right? So the slope that I was given is 1/3. I want the perpendicular slope. So if the slope I was given is 1/3, the perpendicular will be negative 3. Now, on one of our practice tests, we did a parallel. So some of you are going to do parallel on Friday. Everything's the same. except if I'm parallel, I will use 1/3. Right? All right, now what? I got my slope, it's -3. I got my point. So y minus 2 equals -3x minus 1. Y minus 2 equals -3x plus 3. So y equals -3x plus 5. Is our answer.
How did you get that second part? Y minus 2 equals -3 x minus 1.
Friends, point slope. It's what we've been doing for every problem. Y minus the y coordinate equals slope times x minus the x coordinate. It's exactly what we did for the one I raised. This one right here. It's exactly what we did for that one.
I was just confused because it didn't say point slope on the thing, so I didn't know you were supposed to use it.
Well, every equation that we have written, everyone, we use point slope form to write the equation. Then we manipulate it into the form that our answer is supposed to be.
Alright.
We've done this every single time. Okay? All right. Last page, now we have our ball into the air problem. So we haven't really needed a calculator for anything but arithmetic, but now we need our calculator, or we could certainly benefit from our calculator. Alright, so here's our equation, or our general formula. Now we're gonna write the equation. Okay? So read the problem. And then we're gonna plug in the numbers, so S of t is gonna equal what? -16t squared plus 100t, yep, plus 0. Why is that number 0? On the ground, we're starting on the ground, so I'm not here for anything. Now, I heard somebody say why. If you don't want to use that, that's the same as y. It's okay to call it y. It's also okay and kind of makes sense to call it h, because this is the height. Y, up and down, how high are you? What you call that doesn't matter. I have it written in the answer blank as S of t, but if you want to cross that out and call it h or y or something, okay. This is what I care about right here. And we even talked about, do I have to use t's? No. When I put it in my calculator, those will be x's. Fine. Okay? Now, as soon as I do that, I know there's 2 more parts to the problem, but as soon as I do that, I am going to put this problem into my calculator. So, none of you came in this morning for help, so I'm assuming you have all this figured out. And we have done enough of these, and you are just smart people. So the ball is on the ground, and let's say I kick it from the ground. What is it going to do? It's going to go up, and then it's going to come down, right? So even if I don't specifically see that on my calculator, don't I know that I have something like this?
Yes.
So the way I have my window set, and I don't want you to be alarmed, because bottom line, I don't see this part, I don't see it on my calculator, but I don't need to see it, because isn't that what I want?
Yes.
Right? That's the point I'm gonna be looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and second calc 0. Left bound, this has to be over here somewhere. And then right bound has to be down here somewhere. And then I guess about there. So mine actually came out nicely. Did you get 6.25?
Yes.
And that would be seconds. Now, I kinda got out of order here. That is the answer to problem C. When does the ball hit the ground? The questions you're gonna be asked are these three. You're gonna write the equation, you're gonna find when the ball's on the ground, and then the third question is, how high is the ball after 1 second? So I can either second trace value 1, enter, and get 84. Or I can plug 1 into my equation, whichever you want to do. So the equation is here. How high is the ball after 1 second? 84 feet. When does the ball hit the ground? After 6.25 seconds.
How would you get that without a calculator?
I would plug 1 in. Or I would use the quadratic formula to solve that.
So you would plug 84 into either -16.
You don't
or
plug in
100.
84, you plug in 1. How high is the ball after 1 second? So I put 1 in for the time, and I get the height, which is 84.
Yeah.
Alright, and finally, last one. What does this mean? Yeah. So distance is the big square root, remember? So -4 minus -2. 1 minus 4. Now watch it, there's a lot of negative stuff happening in there. -4 minus -2 is -2. Square is 4. 1 minus 4 is -3. Square is 9. I got root 13, which, that's it. It doesn't break down. That's the answer. So some of you are gonna get lucky and you're gonna get a number like root 13. Some of you are not gonna be so lucky and you're gonna get a number like root 20, which you will break down. 35, yeah. And then the last question, same 2 points. What's the midpoint going to be? Well, how do we find midpoint?
-4
We average them. We average them. That means add. -4 plus -2 over 2, and 1 plus 4 over 2. So what is -4 plus -2? -6. Divided by 2 is -3. What is 1 plus 4? Divided by 2 is, you can write 2.5, I'm just gonna write 5 halves, but you can say 2.5. Okay. Alright, so what I have on my handy dandy paper here is some extra practice. So I am gonna need some volunteers to come up off the board. Well, I think we can do 2 at a time. The rest of you, if you have some notebook paper, go ahead and get it out. If you don't have any paper, I have some notebook paper here on this bottom shelf over here. So you can get a piece of that out. We're all going to practice. So here's our first two problems. So everybody's working at your seat except the volunteers who are going to come up to the board. And you can come by yourself or you can come with a partner. There's our first two. Let's go, friends. I need volunteers. Here comes one. Are you guys together? Or? Okay, you two are together. And Max, you're coming up? Okay. So what are the rest of us doing? We're writing them down. We're working them out. Hopefully we're all going to come out with the same right answer. This one stuff. Yeah, I can the board. No trash talking up there, guys. Let's just get our problems done. I should see pencils moving on everybody's papers. Oh, what's your slope?
Negative 807.
So you better double check that. Step aside. Kids, this is the kind of mistakes that drive me crazy. When we find slope, we always do y and y, right? And x and x. So if we think we might get confused, we need to mark them. What are his x's?
-8 and
Negative 6 and negative 8.
That was better.
So we have 9 minus 1. Negative 6.
I got x equals 28 over -45.
You guys get? Winners right here, problem number 1.
Oh,
They got it. So if you didn't get that awful answer, negative 30 got it, good job. Have you done access problem yet? When you're done with problem one, let's get started. Did you get it?
Miss Ford, I got it wrong, but I don't know what I did wrong.
Did you look at what's on the board? Compare it, see why you missed it?
Why did I think I did it wrong. I think I did it wrong.
So negative 5, negative 20. And then this is negative 5. Wait, you added 1 max. That 1 over step. Okay, Max has got his done. He got it right, y equals 4x plus 33. A lot of negatives in that problem, you have to really keep track. And you gotta stay organized. And it works. All right, we're gonna do a couple more. Anybody have a question about those? If you didn't get them both done, write the answer down so you will know what you're heading for when you go home tonight and practice. All right. Need 2 more volunteers, or teams of volunteers. Let's solve this. Okay, we're gonna solve that one. And while we're at it, we'll solve this one. These are test questions. You need to be able to solve them. Let's have our volunteers.
Keep the one on the right side. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's how we do it. It's a less than, no, it's a
Greater
greater than or equal to 10.
Oh, versus four.
Yes, yeah.
That's good.
It's supposed to be a positive 4
Your factors.
Oh,
Your
negative 2.
factors are x plus 4, x minus 2.
No, I thought
The
so.
parentheses, x plus 4, x minus 2. So your dots need to be at negative 4 and positive 2. question about either one of those? You okay? Alright. Maybe we can get, oh, here's one, we can just do out loud. What is the equation of a circle whose center is -1,5 and whose radius is 6? What's the equation of the circle?
Y, the x
X
plus 1
plus 1
squared plus y minus 5 squared 36.
equals 36. Yep, that's it exactly. That is your equation of the circle. Right? Let's see it. One more. Point A is 3, -6. Point B is 1, 7.
What's the question?
What do you think the question is? Find the distance and find the. So, I could ask that. I want to know the distance. Alright, so here we go. What's our distance? 3 minus 1 squared, -6 minus 7 squared. Not over 2, we do distance. When do we do it over 2? When do we do distance? So, we have 3 minus 1 is 2, squared is 4. -6 minus 7. -13 squared is 169. So that is square root of 173, which is prime. So I'm done. Midpoint. 3 plus 1 divided by 2. -6 plus 7 divided by 2. 3 plus 1 divided by 2. -6 plus 7.
-1/2.
You
I
positive.
mean,
Positive 1/2, yeah. All right, so we just practiced a little extra. What are we gonna do tonight? We're gonna go home, and we're gonna redo another practice test. So go to Canvas, either print one or put it in Notability, and do it. Got it? That is your surefire method to success. Practice another one on your own.